Hi everyone, it's me, Rajika again. I'm back with another video, and in this one, I want to talk about the mind shift that needs to happen between the colonial white thinking about the planet and the imperialistic power over the rape culture type um, way that our society and culture has been operating for you know, you can make up any number of years and it's in remembered history. That is what we're dealing with. Um, and then I want to also talk about how the geoclanic tribes, which I've renamed the white tribe on the wheel of the medicine wheel as these geoclanic tribe so that it can distinguish from the colonial thinking that has been attached to the white skin. Anyways, what I want to talk about in that colonial mindset, the globe is looked at in as a grid. It's not a living being. It's cut up into small pieces and sold, and it's sold many times over because it's thought of as a commodity, and not only the top of the surface of the planet, but also the minerals underneath. That is also on a separate grid and for sale. So that is a truly imperial way of thinking that establishes land ownership, but in a geoclanic way, um, the planet is a living being. So all of her watersheds and all of her forests and the rivers, the mountains, the prairies, the plains, all of these things are part of a living organism. So it cannot be owned. It can only be cared for. So those are two deeply conflicting ideas that's happening within this remembrance of what it means to be a tribal person and of um, European ancestry. So, and another thing that we need to understand is there's a legal fiction that really happened um, that really does not align with natural or tribal law. So, and that's like commercial maritime law. So many people around the globe don't realize, and especially here in Canada, that you are thought of as a corporate entity, and your birth certificate gives the Corporation of Canada the right to manage your estate. Um, so in that colonial thinking, you again are just something that's bought and sold. But in true tribal understandings, your rights are never given to you by the the conquerors of a land. It's the land itself, the community um, that grants you stewardship upon that land. So you don't own it. You are granted a time period to care for its whole organism, which means its water, which means its food production, which means its animals, and of course, the community that lives on and near it. So, again, that is a huge difference. So there is a really old legal concept called Yost postimity. And what it means is that if your territory is captured or overcome and you become a prisoner of war, your land rights, the rights that are assigned to you as the steward of your land, they never really go away. They are just put on hold until you perform post Yos postimity, which is a returning to the land. So my husband and I filmed our ceremony around this. It's on YouTube, and you can look in the show notes if you want to go and see it. But the whole premise of that was that we were a pre-colonized being returning from the sea to the land. So, and the last thing I really want to talk about is like the difference between the matriarchal source and like the patriarchal domination, which is, we're seeing the end of that now. We're living through the consequences of the patriarchal domination over the globe. We're seeing it crumble in real time. And that's part of why I want to make these videos. Is there is a way up the mountain. There's many ways up the mountain, but understanding who and where we come from, and that we are not the colonizers. We are the lineage of ancient knowledge that has laid dormant for many, many generations. And it's within our power, it's our duty to remember these things and bring them to light and share this truth about ourselves with, the other tribes that hold the medicine that makes the wheel go round in